Hello, 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 my lovely little nightmares. Okay, I did some research on it. I tried to Google the name of the game and the company that the game is from. Could not find a wiki on it, but I did find a Tumblr post from Chiyuki Susho, who posted a walkthrough about how to get each of the endings. There's a Tumblr post on it, and so I'm gonna use that to help me get the other endings. So the path to this ending that we're going for is pick up the cat, confront the cat, just keep her captured, and then we'll go from there. So we're aiming to get to the next dialogue option, which... Do you not understand, stupid human? Definitely, I don't like this girl. I'm only trying to protect you. Her words take me by surprise. Huh? I exclaimed ridiculously. You attacked me and attacked my friends, only to protect us? Yes, she simply replied. At the same time, she nods, filled with pride and confidence. I skipped through most of the stuff to get to this point because of the fact that the dialogue of her healing him was very weird and made me personally uncomfortable because of what he was thinking. And so in turn, I decided to just skip to this point. She simply replied, Yep. Okay, that's it. I'm getting out of here. Yep. I cannot believe how arrogant and self-centered this girl. After everything she did to me and my friends, I can't stand her any longer. Wait! I had only taken a few steps when I heard her calling me. She sounds really worried. You don't understand the real danger you're in here. I stop in my tracks as soon as I hear her. Real danger? I whisper, feeling some doubts. Suddenly a shiver. It doesn't look like she's lying. Yes. I try to chase them away using illusions. Other times I hit them with my powers. But as a last resort, I scare them directly, as it was in your case. Ashley confessed, blushing a little as if she felt embarrassed for something. And why do you do that? I asked, confused. Something isn't right here. Ashley stares at me with her red eyes. If they continue with their curiosity, they'll meet an evil entity that will take their lives. And what you say doesn't sound very convincing. I merely interrupt. The only evil entity here is you. Ashley shakes her head in denial. You're wrong. I'm the good one. Then she said, looking into my eyes with pure innocence in hers. I can only laugh at that comment. It had to be a joke. After doing all that, you say you're good. Don't laugh, I'm only trying to protect you, replied Ashley, furious, while waving her arms. She then crosses her arms and gives me an unpleased look. Do you expect me to believe that? I replied sarcastically. What she said made no sense, but somehow she seemed oddly convinced it was the truth. She was surely a bit wrong in the head. But it's true, you have to believe me. This time she sounds really worried about me. I actually feel a little sorry for her. Then, should I trust in her? Okay, so... My phone! Not my phone. My mouse. Okay. Oh. I did not know that we could do a back button. Cool. We're gonna save here. Okay. Now should I trust in her? Okay. The thing that I'm supposed to do is... doubt. Despite what she says and how cute she is, I cannot trust in her words. This cat is the reason why I'm here, so I decide to ignore it and continue my journey. Also, I cannot know if the girl's voice is truly evil, as she says. It could be the other way. Without saying more, I start to walk in the opposite direction, passing beside her without even looking at her. That was very rude of me, but I must not forget who I'm dealing with. Wait, where are you going? Ashley said with a face of disbelief. I don't blame her. Don't go that way. It's dangerous. Stop. I said stop. Ashley begins to cry at me to stop. But my decision is already made. I don't even look back. Soon I can't hear her anymore. I know that she's still close, but it seems she has given up on me. For a moment, the doubt of why she did not use her magic enters my mind. But I guess I wouldn't understand no matter how much I thought about it. Okay. Up. Ready to meet the next girl. With each minute that passes, the air becomes more heavy and nauseating. I covered my nose and mouth with one hand. If I could, I would stop breathing this rotten air. But that doesn't stop me from moving forward. After all, this must be one of the dirty tricks used by Ashley to scare others away. After all, if she calls herself good, I can't believe it. Now all my hope lies with the voice. She must be the one who can save me. Here, you are going well. 3:11 a.m. Technically speaking, this should be November 1st. I'm gonna repeat that because, seriously, come on. Whatever. I don't know if it's been hours or only minutes since I became separated from Ashley. I had lost the notion of time. Then suddenly I came to a clearing in the forest. At last I can see the night sky. The full moon shines elegantly, surrounded by a blanket of darkness and stars. A beautiful image, but there's something strange in it. How weird. Wasn't there a half moon tonight? I said to myself as I looked at the moon and tried to remember a vague memory in my mind. Anyway, it's not important. The moon will not come to save me. I lowered my sight. It was then that I noticed there was a cabin in the clearing. It was hidden under the shade of the trees nearby, so I didn't see it before, I think. The cabin looks old and worn down, even depressing, but if I'm lucky, there may be someone there. Not wasting one more second, I decided to enter the cabin. I opened the old door, slowly observing that no one was waiting for me on the other side. Apparently, it is empty. How weird, I murmured to myself, confused. Definitely the voice came from this place, I'm sure of it. Rubbed my forehead with anxiety and then sigh. It's still very early to get impatient. I should explore the cabin. Oh. I slowly walk around the place, taking each step carefully. It is old and neglected. There are cobwebs everywhere, as if it hadn't been cleaned in years. There it is musty. Curiously, the cabin appears to have none of the modern commodities: telephone, electricity, water pipes. The impression I get is that it's even older than it appears, something that sounds impossible. I continue exploring until finally I find in one of the rooms what I wanted. Lying peacefully in bed, there's a girl sleeping. We're gonna save this here. With blonde hair and claws as black as the feathers of a raven. With just one look, I can say that she's very beautiful. Brave knight, you have finally arrived, she suddenly said. Asleep? There's no mistake, she's the source of that voice. She's asleep, but knows of my presence in some strange way. Yes, I'm here, I said, acting with fake courage, not knowing why. I guess I wanted to look strong for this girl, despite me being completely helpless. It is then that she opens her eyes slowly, even with laziness. They are very beautiful blue. She looks at me closely for a couple of seconds, staring at my face with curiosity until unexpectedly a tear springs from her blue eyes, gently falling down her cheek. Thank you for coming. I was very scared. Suddenly she pounces at me, giving me a tight hug full of affection, as if we had not seen each other in years. I was very afraid. Everything is terrifying here, she said while trembling, with her face pressed against my chest. She looks really scared, but who wouldn't? After all that evil cat has done, I wouldn't forgive her for frightening a girl as cute as her, although it is partly thanks to that I could find her. In the end, there is good to see in the bad. Don't worry, miss, I'll help you get out of here, I said, trying to comfort her, with a false attitude of courage, while placing my arms around her, returning the hug. She has an elegant and beautiful figure and a soft body, pleasant to the touch. What the heck? This dude is so creepy. I don't have any more strength, replied the girl, almost lamenting herself for that. She doesn't break the hug, and I couldn't be any more thankful for that. I could carry you on my back, or we could leave this forest, I offer as I caress her head. Her golden hair is silky and exquisite to the touch. To be honest, I could not resist stroking it. This dude is so creepy. Then the girl finally pulls away from me. She stays at the distance of just one step, staring at my eyes with shyness. With her hands on her chest, her cheeks have a cute blush. I think you don't understand. I'm a spirit that lives in this forest, she explains with a gentle voice. Where I could materialize myself since people came to visit me. The joy they felt gave me energy. I spent many pleasant times with them. Then the girl looks down. She seems to recall something sad. Till one day, when the evil cat began to scare everyone, suddenly I began to feel weak, and well, now I'm like this because of her. She blinks after saying that. She looks fragile, as if she were going to cry at any moment. I look into her blue eyes, feeling pity for her. Darned cat, how could you do that to such a cute girl? Then, how could I help you if you cannot materialize? I ask with curiosity. The girl suddenly deviates her gaze, avoiding my eyes. She blushes and silently plays with her fingers for a moment before looking me in the face. I think if you kiss me, I could regain some of my strength. Oh my gosh! I can't believe it. My heart almost stops when I hear it. Just a kiss would be enough? I asked, struggling not to sound like a pervert. You already sound like a pervert with your thoughts, man. Entering the forest was the worst decision of my life, but going after the voice turned out to be the best. Yes, because your feelings will be transmitted to me. Girl! The girl said. At the same time, she closes her eyes and nods. The look on her eyes silently begs me to do it, staring at me with an innocence that is simply adorable. After hearing her proposal, I start to think about my current situation. If she were an evil entity, perhaps she would ask me for more macabre things, as giving her blood or giving her my soul to make a donation on PayPal, The third being clearly the worst. But this poor soul just asks for a kiss. She has been alone all this time. If I kiss her, she will have enough strength to escape. No doubt it seems an obvious choice. Kiss such a cute girl to save her, but everything sounds so sweet all suddenly, right? I don't remember my luck being this good. Then I remember what the cat said. Not wanting it, that appears in my mind. Should I kiss her? Okay, so here we go. We're going to go with this one, I guess. Yes, I shouldn't doubt. A pure soul needs my help. Plus, winning the favor of a beautiful girl always is a good thing in my books. Oh gosh. Okay, I'll kiss you so that we can escape. Is that good? I say, acting with bravery as if a knight of some tale. Thank you. Definitely you're my knight in shining armor, she said with a radiant smile. Don't say it so openly, you're making me blush, I replied. At the same time, I scratched my head ashamed. My heart beats nervously, just from imagining it. My lips will soon touch this adorable girl's lips. How lucky am I? The girl then lowers her sight with a shy face. Excuse me, but I always say what I think. She then returns her sight to my eyes, singing me tenderly. Every time I am more surprised of how adorable she is. Nothing like that annoying cat. I take a deep breath in preparation, showing resolve in my eyes. The girl nods and then closes her eyes, preparing her lips to receive mine. She is sweetly blushing. I can't believe my fortune. This would be my first kiss, and it's one worthy of a fairy tale. I near my lips to hers. They are soft but strangely cold, as if you were kissing an ice flower. I don't care. The feeling inside of me is warm. Her lips move so gently, inviting me to continue with our kiss. A sweet touch, romance like nothing else. Oh gosh. Suddenly the sweetness soon dies, being replaced with a stabbing pain, as if someone had stabbed a sword inside of ice into my back. Without even thinking, I break the kiss and pull away from her. But what did you do? I asked, looking incredulously at the girl. What is going on? I feel so cold, as if someone had stolen all the heat from my body. I also feel heavy and weak. I can barely stay standing. But there is no response. Before she could talk, suddenly something attacks us with such power that it destroys part of the cabin, opening a large hole that connects to the outside. I can't even begin to imagine what it was. It was like seeing a wrecking ball doing its job. I immediately looked for the culprit, finding it was not the girl in black, but someone else. Chris, is too late, Ashley said, biting her lower lip in anguish. You really are an idiot. Do you know what you've done? She then said, looking at me with burning anger. This time she's not playing. She's really angry with me. What? Suddenly said the girl in black with a malicious smile. Is it that you can't stand knowing I'm now stronger than you? She throws a smug look at Ashley. Or maybe you're just jealous that men prefer me over you. But of course, considering how annoying you are. Ashley bites her lip with lips with anxiety. Curses, I didn't think I would have to use this. If I do nothing, everything will be lost. After saying that, she sets her eyes on me. I'm sorry for what I'm going to do, but since you didn't listen to me, I have no other choice. Suddenly Ashley approaches me, as fast as the blink of an eye. I try to move me, but I don't have the strength to do it. I can only stay standing motionless, watching as she suddenly plants a kiss on my lips. Don't worry, you won't feel pain, Ashley said when our lips parted. What is happening? I do not understand what it means, but soon something happens to me. I feel how the little energy left in me goes extinct. The color of my skin becomes pale, my breathing suddenly stops. I feel very tired and I barely even see past my nose. With this, we are on equal terms. I hope this is enough energy, Ashley said while looking with resolve in her red eyes at the girl in black, who, at all times, maintains a proud smile. That was the last thing I saw before my eyelids closed. Oh boy. My computer's making weird sound, being wrapped by an icy darkness. It's okay, I'm just falling asleep. Soon I'll wake up in my bed and have another boring, ordinary day. It's okay. It's Okay, so that was the last sacrifice ending. So 2 more to go. I think... Oh, frick. I pressed the wrong button. Frick. I accidentally deleted it. Shit. Didn't mean to save, I meant to load. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. We're back. Okay. So, we're gonna do the next ending, which is... So, the choice is to don't kiss her. Despite how adorable this girl is, there's something about her explanation that doesn't sound right at all. Everything seems too convenient to be true. It is impossible for luck to so suddenly have improved. While I think about it, she unexpectedly gets closer to me, and then looks at me with puppy eyes so adorable they could charm anyone. Aren't you going to do it? She asks with innocence. I don't know what to do in this situation. But wait, before we do that, we haven't even properly introduced ourselves, I said, clearly nervous. I can feel my heart beating anxiously as the girl stares at me. She blinks confused and then smiles sweetly. My name is Lillian. She doesn't look angry in the least. This girl definitely has something special. My name is Alex, I said in a robotic voice. However, it doesn't seem to bother her. I show her a nervous smile. I have to say something else to stop her, but nothing comes to mind. Without any shyness, Lillian gets closer to me. She has no problem in taking the initiative. Her eyes suddenly become naughty. Something in them makes my blood warm. It's a pleasure, Alex. I very much appreciate your help. She brings her lips closer to mine and then places her arms around my neck to prevent my escape. That gesture alone freezes me in place. I watch her slowly approach me closer and closer, until I feel her soft lips against mine. In that moment, I feel as if I had been possessed. I'm gonna real quickly save. Right here. Okay. My desire takes control of my body, forcing me to kiss her passionately, as if we were lovers seeing each other after a long time. I close my eyes. I don't need to see. I only need to feel the warm love and taste of her lips. Yep! However, the sweetness soon dies, being replaced with a stabbing pain, as if someone had stabbed a sword made of ice into my back. Without even thinking, I break the kiss and pull away from her. What did you do? I asked, looking incredulously at the girl. What was going on? I feel so cold, as if someone had stolen half the heat from my body. I also feel heavy as stone, but there is no answer. Before she could talk, suddenly something attacks us. With such power that it destroys part of the cabin, opening a large hole that connects to the outside. I can't even begin to imagine what that was. It was like seeing a wrecking ball doing its job. The blow was strong enough to push me away from Lillian. She seems equally as surprised as me. I immediately get up and look for the culprit. The answer surprised me. You really are an idiot. What are you doing? Ashley was furious. Suddenly she takes my hand with superhuman strength. It was vastly superior to what her thin appearance would suggest. She drags me away from the cabin as if kidnapping me. I couldn't do anything to stop her. 3:23 a.m. Okay. In just a few minutes, we got very far away from the cabin. How quickly Ashley can run impresses me. She's definitely not human. She finally lets me free. My hand was red and hurt from how strong her grip was, but fortunately I feel better from the kiss. My body had recovered its heat and energy. Why the heck did you do that? I asked. Why the heck did you do that? I asked immediately with anger. Who does this cat think she is to do something like this? I should be the one asking that, Ashley replied, looking me in the eyes with contempt. Because of you, she had already recovered most of her powers. She then explained, ending with a face of rejection, diverting her look from my eyes. She was overreacting, maybe. What are you talking about? She only wants to be free from you, I said with annoyance. I simply couldn't believe her. Neither of the two girls in this forest seemed trustworthy. That is misfortune, considering how beautiful they are. You really are an idiot, Ashley said, looking at me with her red eyes full of contempt. Yes, she wants to be free, to fulfill her revenge. Can't you understand that? The only one that doesn't understand here is you. My patience had ended long ago. I'm not in the mood for a scolding. Stupid human, to be so easily seduced by her. All men are equal. None can think with the right head. Ashley folds her arms and exclaims with annoyance, while looking at me as if I were a spoiled child. Because of your reckless actions, we're in serious trouble. Ashley sighs, frustrated. If you only had believed me, this wouldn't be happening. But what were you talking about? She must be freed since she's suffering, I said without hesitation. I cannot forget the sweet words of that girl Lillian. Suddenly Ashley gives me a piercing look, sharp as a knife. Why do you believe her story? She's deceiving you, idiot. That's what she wants you to believe. And how do you know that? I asked, being suspicious. I do not like this girl. She really is too bossy and nagging. You idiot, didn't you notice when she was absorbing your vital energy? Ashley said, tearing down in the second half of my doubt and resistance with a look of anger in her eyes. Yes, that's what she was doing, absorbing you just like she did in the past with those 5 unfortunate men, explained while staring at me. The latest victim was 20 years ago. Since that day, I promised that nobody would get close to her. Hearing that called my attention immediately. And why did you do that? Ashley looked distraught after speaking of the death of that man. Wonder if she felt guilty for that. If she gets her hands on one more victim, she'll fully recover her powers. Once she achieves it, she'll begin her revenge for what your ancestors did to her. Worst of all is that with the energy I've given her, she's now able to leave this forest and search for a last victim. Is that the truth? I asked incredulously. I didn't like the sound of it. It was true we could be in big trouble. Not only me, but everyone. Ashley bites her lip with anxiety. Yes, what's worse is I have no energy to deal with her. After saying that, she looks at me in anger. Since a certain group of idiots decided to come here for who knows what, I can't respond to that. I only feel guilty. I could get rid of your friends, but for some reason I couldn't with you. You have a stronger magical power than normal, Ashley explains, ending with a sigh of frustration. What did you do with my friends? I asked firmly without even hesitating, thinking that they could be one who gave me force, but perhaps I was just overreacting. Don't worry, they're safe. I only made them leave from the forest, Ashley replied, folding her arms, then she sighed. But creating the illusions and getting them out left me very weakened. Is that why you were laying on the ground when I found you? I said, recalling that moment. She was wounded and unconscious. I couldn't help but feel sorry for her at that time. Yes, but also it didn't help that I had a fight with the innocent princess you saw before. She looks back at me unpleased, but this time just for a moment. After saying that, we both remained quiet, allowing silence to surround us. It's been a while since I last heard the voice calling me. I think that I ceased being useful to Lillian, as Ashley said. Suddenly, Ashley snaps her fingers. Wait, there is still a chance, she said, full of energy. There's a glimmer of hope in her eyes. Then she sets her sight on me. Hear me well. This is the only way to defeat her. Ashley speaks with her usual arrogance, but I notice a slight blush on her cheeks. What is it? I asked, curious to hear her idea. Do you remember what she asked you to do to help her regain power? Ashley asked, blushing more. She then coughed a few times to clear her throat. Yes, she told me to kiss her, I replied without even thinking about it. But shortly after, I realized what I'm saying. Wait, you want me to kiss you too? I asked in uncertainty. I don't know if I should feel lucky or used, to be honest. You idiot, it's not that I want a kiss from you, Ashley retorted, then she diverts her sight from my eyes, making a snort of rejection. It's just that it's the only way to achieve this. Besides, what she did was not kissing you, it was stealing your life energy. Heh, what she did was stealing my vital energy with a kiss, how ironic, I said sarcastically. My phone turned off. The memory was still fresh on my lips. The memory was fresh on his lips? What? If not for the small detail of the theft of vital energy, it would have been a great kiss. Ashley at that time seems to shiver. Then she looks at me furiously. It seems that your brain does not understand the complexity of the issue. I do not plan to steal your life energy. My intention is to get energy from your feelings of love. After saying that, she looks away embarrassed. Did I hear right? Something here sounds completely wrong. Wait, what are you trying to say? Ashley coughs twice to clear her throat. If your feelings for me are full of love, I can regain my energy. You guys just met. Girl, she said, unable to look me in the eyes. Her face is red as an apple. This has to be a joke. But that's impossible. How could I feel love for someone I've just met? Fairy tales. I wouldn't say this to anyone. Please help me, insignificant human, she said with forced arrogance. At the same, she looked at me, saying with her eyes that she'd be thankful. The way which she asked is not very correct, honestly, but she did her best effort to do so. That can be seen in plain sight. However, should I trust her word? She has been causing me many problems tonight. I was even chased, attacked, kidnapped by her. Then, should I? Okay, so the options are I can't trust her or believe and help her. So we're gonna do the I can't trust her option first, and then we'll do the other one. I'm sorry, I can't believe in what you say, I said suddenly with a voice more serious than before. It's no joke, I feel bad for saying it, but it's how I really feel. You attacked me and my friends, why should I help you? The face Ashley makes says it all. She simply cannot believe it. But, she murmured with disbelief reflecting in her red eyes. She seemed hurt. There's no turning back. I'm sorry, but this is my decision, I said, putting an end to the conversation. Goodbye! I then added, starting to walk back to the cabin. Okay, go! Just go back to her, Ashley suddenly said, furious. Truth is, I can't blame her. I hope you don't regret it later. Not saying more, I distance myself from her one step at a time. Before losing sight of her, I take a look back. She's on her knees, facing towards the ground. I feel sorry for her, but I've already made my decision. I wonder how Lillian is doing. I hope she's well, since we were attacked by Ashley for no reason. No doubt I feel something when I kissed her. But perhaps there is more behind it than what I heard from Ashley. I should go talk to her. 3:35 a.m. We're running out of time. Finally, I'm here. Again, the image of the old cabin stands before my eyes. I sigh, doubting for a second, but I have to be strong. Arming myself with courage, I go towards the cabin and prepare to knock on the door. But just at that moment, someone or something stops me. Alex! Before I knew it, Lillian opens the door and gives me a warm hug, excited to see me back. It seems she heard my footsteps as I approached, or perhaps she has some power of the observation. Either way, it doesn't matter. She's here and seems happy to see me. Brave knight, you're back, safe and sound, Lillian said while looking me in the eyes with tenderness, then gives me a sweet smile. Seems impossible she could do something as evil as Ashley said. Yes, seems so, I murmured without much emotion. I was more than confused. No matter what I do, something always seems to be wrong. Don't worry about me. I'm much better now thanks to the help you gave me, Lillian ends with a sweet smile. However, now I should reward you for coming back to my side. last thing she says calls my attention instantly. Reward me? I reply inquisitively. What kind of reward can she be talking about? Of course, since you managed to escape from the class of that horrible Ashley, you've shown loyalty to me. That is why you will have my reward. You will have your reward. After saying that, Lillian's eyes turn naughty. She looks into my eyes with a playful smile. Suddenly she approaches her face close to mine. I can smell her feminine scent before there wasn't any, since she had yet truly materialized. Close your eyes and you will receive your reward. Lillian said those words very gently. There's something charming in her voice. I cannot resist her. Oh boy, before I knew it, I had closed my eyes as she asked me. At that moment, her lips and mine came close together again, only this time it was much more intense. I could feel her heat and softness in more detail. Her kiss is much more passionate than the one before. Without any shame, we kissed, overflowing with lust and desire. Oh boy, suddenly I felt my strength leave my body. She holds me tight so that I don't fall down as if I were a toy. After kissing her from the bottom of my heart, I'm left without any energy. My skin is pale, my body feels cold, heavy, as if made of lead. Oh boy, this dude's an idiot. Don't worry, I won't take your life, Lillian said, full of pride. Besides, I have more than enough energy to accomplish my vengeance. Suddenly she smiles. It's a malicious smile that I never would have wanted to see. Wait, did she say revenge? My mind barely works now. Everything looks fuzzy. Everything is so confusing. I don't even seem to mind hearing that, or imagine how cruel it could be. Definitely there's something broken in me. You've shown loyalty to me, so you will be my partner in this eternity. That kiss was our contract. You shall be my servant, and will obey me and please me in everything that I need. After saying that, Lillian suddenly begins to laugh, and eerie laughter filled with joy. Yes, my lady, was all I could say without showing any rejection, without any resistance. My body and my mind had ceased to be under my control. Oh boy, it's my first slave. How pleasing! What the frick? I never thought that I would find a human so stupid, but at the same time noble as you. I think I was lucky. Lillian looks at that time, reflects a seductive malice. They are cruel blue eyes that love to be like that. Oh boy. But there's a problem. A slave without power is not useful. She pauses and snaps her fingers. I know. I shall share some of my power with you. Count yourself lucky. After saying that, she laughs playfully. Then she sets her gaze on me. What the frick? I suddenly feel that my strength is returning to normal. She lets go of me, and I have no problem standing on my own. But soon I realize that I was wrong. I feel even stronger than before. Great. Now just one more thing left to do, Lillian said as she looked at me with a mischievous smile. Surely she wasn't thinking anything good, but before she could say more, something interrupts her. Ashley appeared in front of the two. Thankfully, you still live. Come with me. We can still beat her. Ashley shouted, sounding almost desperate. I hear it, but even if I want to, my body does not respond. I'm completely still, as if it were a statue. You idiot, what are you waiting for? Flee! Ashley said, seeing my lack of reaction, sounding even more desperate. Here, the only idiot is you. Don't you realize? It was not necessary to kill him to carry out my plan. Lillian responds, overflowing with pride and confidence. The look in her blue eyes said it all. She already had the victory in her hands. Ashley freezes for a second from the impression. She was stunned. Wait, what are you trying to say? She asked, full of disbelief that was visible in plain sight. Lillian smiles. Simple. He gave me all his energy, and as a reward, I allowed him to be my slave. What? You lie! 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 Ashley doesn't take the news well. She screams, furious while looking with hatred at Lillian. The enmity of the two must be something deeper than what I imagined. No, it's the truth, was the simple response. Lillian displayed a confident smile that was almost insulting to see. Ashley bites her lower lip with anguish. Her eyes in that time become sharp. I didn't expect to have to use this method, but there is no other option. Suddenly Ashley's nails grow long and sharp as knives. She points at her own jugular. Stop her! Ordered Lillian without hesitation. At that moment I feel my body disintegrate, and before I knew it I was right next to Ashley. In less than a blink I had changed positions. By pure instinct I grabbed my arm and stopped Ashley. No, let go of me, you giant idiot! I have to do this or you don't know what will happen. She tries to escape, but now I have more strength, supernatural strength. I will not allow you to do that, Lillian said, ending with a short laugh. Then she smiles full of confidence, partly hiding her lips behind one hand with elegance. Let me go, let me go, let me go, Ashley repeats the same thing over and over, but little by little she becomes quieter, accepting her defeat. She then lowers her head in silence. It appears something was stealing her power. It's my fault that something is no other than me. You will be my main guest, Ashley, of how I carry out my revenge. You don't have to worry about those idiot humans. Besides, deep down you wanted it too. Ashley silently accepts her fate. It breaks my heart to see her like that, but no matter how hard I try, my body doesn't listen to me, not even a single muscle. Tonight I will fulfill the reason for my existence. How beautiful! After so long waiting for this day, finally they will know my revenge. Finally! Lillian looks very different from when I first saw her. She now can't stop laughing with euphoria. Every single one of her laughs leaves a scar on my heart. Now I understand my mistake, now that it's too late. My body has become her slave, and I am just a puppet now, waiting for my lady to pull my strings. Oh boy. And that night, I was a witness to the most heinous act someone could commit. Murder, torture, screams, blood, tears. I saw all of this more than once each. Family, friends, neighbors were murdered and I couldn't do anything about it. No, this isn't right. My own hands were the ones who took their lives. I still remember their faces in agony, silently begging me to stop. But no matter how much I wanted to, my will is controlled by someone else. I'm just a puppet now, waiting for my mistress to pull my strings. An eternal life filled with misery is all that awaits me now. In my despair, I managed to break the control of Lillian, but just for long enough to make a single move. Surrounded by death and fire, I shout a loud and heartbreaking scream to the sky. The voice echoes all over, carrying a message of pain, for which there are no words. Oh boy. Okay. So, my revenge in this town is fulfilled. However, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Lillian pauses. She beholds the destruction of the town with satisfaction, and then turns to look at me with a smile. We are leaving. Yes, my princess. You're so cute. Seeing her smile makes my heart pound. Although I'm just a puppet now, I still feel a fragment of my consciousness, but it's already corrupted. Her revenge and smile inspire love instead of hatred, because my life and world are only Lillian now. We will always be together for all eternity. Of course, I will always protect you and help you and love you for all eternity. I will do everything so that my lady, my princess, can be happy. I couldn't expect any less from you, my loyal servant. You truly are my knight in silver armor. The birds. Is this the end? Town of Abergon, Oxford County, November 12th. Oh. How long is this ending? This is really long. It's been over 1 week since the discovery of the total slaughter of a small town. Police still have no clue about what happened here. The evidence is scattered everywhere, explained the chief of police, William Liam. It's as if we were trying to find a needle in a haystack, an explanation for why everyone suddenly decided to kill their neighbors and commit suicide later, but sadly there isn't one. In this case, the needle does not exist. So far, everything seems to point to that it was a pagan ritual. This town years ago was related to witches and other supernatural legends. There's no doubt these deaths were the result of nothing but human actions. Anyway, we'll continue with the investigations. The chief sounded confused, but in reality, all the country is. Literally in a single night, all the inhabitants of Abergon died by the hands of their own neighbors. There were not just murders. Many were tortured too. According to the investigations, more than 1,000 people were burned alive in this incident. Oh. Hey, I got an achievement! How many achievements are there for this game, actually? I didn't check. I'm just trying to get all the endings. How do I skip through this? Help, come on. Okay, right. So there's one more ending and then a secret ending if I get all of the other endings. So I think what we'll do is okay. Let me double check something real quickly on my phone. So view channel, manage videos. Okay, yeah, so this is supposed to be the final episode for the Halloween event where I play a couple of horror games. I only ended up playing 2, but still. Something, at least. To something. So, I think I'm gonna keep recording. I'm gonna make this a long episode, and we shall keep going to get the other 2 endings. So, we got the Lillian Princess of Destruction ending just now, and we're gonna go to the next ending. So it's load, and I believe it was this one. Was it not this one? Was it this one? Which one was it? Did I not save it? I might not have saved it. Ugh. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. What's this one? Believe her and help her. Here we go. I can't ignore her petition. I know that she has not been the kindest girl, but somehow I think she's telling the truth. Okay, I'm going to help you, but tell me, what should I do? I ask at the same time I look at her red eyes with determination. Ashley nods a couple of times. She seems pleased with my answer. It's simple. Just share your feelings of love towards me. She now responds with more confidence. I can't help but sigh after hearing it. Something here is wrong. I'm sorry, but I cannot do that. Well, we just met each other. I do feel some empathy for you, but it wouldn't be right to call it love. I explain with frustration on my face. She asks too much from me. Ashley then places a hand against her lips, making a passive gesture. I see, it is a feeling that cannot be achieved in a single day. Of course, a silly cat. Have you never been in love? Well, there is one alternative, but I don't want to use it because it would do you harm. I blinked confused after hearing her. What is the alternative? I asked while staring at her face. It's like your vitality, like Lillian did, Ashley explains with a very serious look. She then diverts her gaze, feeling disgust at the simple idea. I'm not going to do it. If I remove the vitality energy you have left, you will die. Certainly I do not want that. Then if you don't have enough energy to fight, what will you do? This is not looking good. If you don't have those feelings for me, there's nothing much that can be done, replied Ashley, ending with a sigh of annoyance. Anyway, I'll go and face her, even if I have to give my life in the fight, she says it with so much simplicity that it seems she doesn't care for her own life. Wait, is there really nothing I can do to help you? I interrupt immediately. I could not let her just go like that. At least I had to do something, however small that may be. How could you help me? The look Ashley gives me called me an idiot without saying a word. While we're on the same team, I think that some things simply will never change. I stay silent for a moment, looking down while I think on a solution. Ashley stares at me impatient. I don't feel love towards you, but once I felt it for someone else. I could try remembering those feelings so that you can use them as energy. Ashley thinks deeply for a moment. I guess it's worth a try, she said, not sounding very convinced. But it was certainly better than nothing. After that, the two of us stared at each other's eyes for a couple of seconds without saying a word. Then we suddenly divert our looks at the same time, embarrassed. We're acting like kids. Are you ready? Ashley asked almost lovingly. It's easy to notice that she was taking this seriously. I nod. Yes, whenever you want, we can start. Oh boy, I replied just before closing my eyes and trying with all my heart to revive the image. Suddenly Ashley holds my hands. Even with my eyes closed, I could feel her presence near. That makes me somewhat nervous, but I have to relax. I exhale, letting my concerns go out with my breath. Her hands softly caressed mine to help me relax. Then I start to remember something that happened many years in the past. The heck? When I was young, every summer I went to my grandparents' house to visit them. I didn't like it because I had nothing fun there, only an old TV and dusty books that I had no interest in reading. However, whenever I went there, I could see her, a girl with brown, long hair, who always had a cute dress. When I saw her for the first time, I could feel a strange fascination for her fragile, inexplicable beauty. I watched her at a distance without knowing what this feeling was, only knew that something in her called me. It was more than just beautiful. Her beauty was something, many layers with many facets. Her gestures, her expression, her way of playing, they were all beautiful. Finally, one day I had the courage to ask her to play together. Without even thinking about it, she told me yes. All that afternoon we spent playing until it inevitably began to get dark. She was a simple girl, enjoying playing as anyone else, but still I could not remove my eyes from her. When the day ended, she said goodbye to me with a radiant smile. I had forgotten it, how beautiful it was, how astonished I was after seeing it. After that day, I never got to see her again. Last thing I knew, her family moved to another country. I do not know if it was a predestined love or just my inexperienced feelings confused with something new. But without a doubt, it was beautiful. I do not want to forget it again, never again. Then, unexpectedly, I felt Ashley give me a shy kiss on the lips. It was infernal, only lasted enough to feel it, to know that it was real. But at the same time, that shyness gave it a special beauty. It was a sweet kiss. There was no more words to describe it. Oh boy. I opened my eyes, finding Ashley one step away from me, completely blushing and looking away from me. She is silent but doesn't look angry in the least. Her red eyes are gentle, although embarrassed. Are you alright? I asked with kindness while I look at her. My heart is calmed quickly after the kiss. I don't show it, but somehow I feel liberated, lighter. Ashley turns her head to look me in the eyes. Yes, thank you, she said with shyness. However, she then breathes deep and magically recovers her proud attitude. I believe that this will be enough to stop her. The plan was a success. I'm really pleased. That's fantastic to hear. Ashley closes her eyes and nods a couple of times. When she is not scolding, I must confess that she is very cute. Anyway, we can't wait any longer. Every second we talk, Lillian must be using it to plan her revenge. We have to go now and stop her, Ashley explains, acting with complete seriousness. Our little break had ended. Yes, let's go, was my short response, overflowing with determination. There is no more to say. 3:40 a.m. Oh boy. You're doing great. The way back to the cabin feels short this time. Before I knew it, it was in front of my eyes. Lillian is outside next to the door. She was waiting for us. Brave knight, I see you finally came, she said with a confident smile. Her attitudes are very different from the first time I saw her. Just from looking at her, I'm sure of it. She's not any innocent soul. It's a shame to see you with that woman. I had hopes for you. Alex won't be fooled by you again, Ashley replied, walking in my place. At that moment, I see Lillian making a grimace of disgust, but soon she recovers her look of confidence. I wanted Alex to be my companion since he kindly came to rescue me, but oh well, it's not important. I already got enough energy from him. With that alone, I have surpassed you. Finally, I'll be able to get rid of you, Ashley, said Lillian, pronouncing her name with a mocking tone while giving us a malicious smile. Her victory was in the palm of her hand. Ashley instantly roars furious. We won't know until you try it. After saying that, she crosses her arms with pride. Once I beat you, nothing shall stop me from completing my revenge. Why do you want to do that? It's been far too long. The people who hurt you are already gone, and it's not even the memory of the crime committed here exists anymore. It's just a village of innocent people. You're right, but someone has to suffer, responded Lillian without hesitation, not doubting a single moment, leaving me completely cold. After seeing my reaction to her answer, she directed an evil smile right at me, as if her words meant nothing. That makes me angry. What? And what do you win by doing that? I yelled at the same time I closed my hands into fists. I simply couldn't accept it. It was too much. I just want them to suffer like I did. If If I don't make them suffer, then who will? Who will be the carrier of this hate that every day eats at me from inside like parasites which sicken me and deform me? Lillian pauses. It is unfair I continue to suffer while they are innocent. Lillian then speaks out at the same time she hits her chest, showing how much that meant for her. This is more than pain. It is the proof of my existence. She pauses and exhales, calming herself. Anyway, enough with speeches. I will end you and then bring my revenge to the townspeople. Then, without saying anything more, the battle between the two began. It was something that my mind could not comprehend, a show of power and magic that deformed reality itself. Ashley repeatedly attacks by firing a strange translucent power, as if hot air. Just from seeing it, I know that it was enough strength to knock down a house, but Lillian doesn't even blink. She calmly moves a hand, creating a barrier that reflects her attacks each time. Strangely, it was Ashley who is most active. Her attacks consistently from many different angles, but Lillian stays still, reflecting her attacks and fighting back, always with a smile on her face. After seeing that those attacks will have no effect, Ashley changes strategy. She transforms herself into an imagery white beast and charges against Lillian. However, Lillian transforms her body just like her into an unknown black being and resists her attack. Ashley regains human form, making a grimace of disgust. Both had wounds after this confrontation, but then, before my eyes, I see how they place their hands on their wounds and heal them magically. Apparently, the two have the same powers, only thing different was their personalities. There were simply no words to describe it, at least my mind was not able to find them. I only know that during the fight, neither two seemed to have an advantage over the other. Everything indicated it was an even match. Oh boy. On several occasions, I beheld bright, colorful lights, superhuman abilities, multiplications of bodies, teleportation, healing, transformation, and many other powers that seemed to come out of fairy tale. The combat seemed to last forever. Every second, every attack and defense were loaded with so much tension and emotions that time had simply disappeared from me. The only thing that captured my attention was seeing the two girls fighting in such a fantastic way. Finally, after an unknown time, both fell. On the ground, bloody, they looked into each other's eyes. The blue eyes beheld the red ones, and vice versa. Then both smiled, Ashley proudly, Lillian with irony. It seemed that the two were anticipating that end. You did very well. I didn't expect it, Lillian said with honesty. You doubted of me, stupid girl? Ashley replied with arrogance, even though her lips were stained with blood. Lillian then shows us a smile full of malice. You have always been like that. Even a mutual death you consider a victory. You're really an idiot. You should be more selfish. It's strange, but she does not sound angry in the least. You may be right, but all I wanted was to stop you, replied Ashley, proud of herself. There was not a hint of regret in her words. Okay, I accept my defeat, but at least in these last moments of my life, I want to be in peace with you. Is that okay? Lillian responded with a friendly smile. To be honest, I was going to say the same thing. Ashley ends with an ironic smile. I silently watched them both as they talk, feeling a strange fascination mixed with an unmistakable feeling of sadness. I just met them this evening, but somehow it pains me to see them as that. Somehow I formed a bond with them. Oh boy. It was then that I see them slowly start to disappear. Suddenly the two turn to set their eyes on me, giving me one last smile. Goodbye, noble knight. I confess I enjoyed kissing you. It wasn't all an act, Lillian said, looking at me with a tenderness that breaks my heart. Thank you. Ashley, I couldn't help but feel nostalgia in that moment. I knew this was going to be our last goodbye. Even if I didn't want to admit it, that was her fate. Is it alright for it to end like this? Don't worry, everything will be fine now. Finally, my reason for existing has been fulfilled. I have no regrets. And this is our goodbye. Yes. Suddenly, she recovers her proud attitude. However, this time was different. She was happy. Really happy. It was a pleasure to meet you, stupid human, Ashley said with an arrogance of always, but now instead of anger, it made me feel like I was about to cry. "It was fun to meet you," said the two surprisingly in unison. Those were their last words. Wow. This is gonna be such a long episode. They then disappeared, dispersing in the form of particles of light, as if small fireflies were escaping from their bodies with a beautiful but depressing green color. Without thinking, I ran towards them. Even if I couldn't do anything, I wanted to touch them one last time. But the only thing my hands were able to reach are the particles of light that slip out between my fingers as if they were water. Then I see the light rise higher and higher until it disappears in the night sky. I did it. I'm a hero. I'm the one who finally broke the curse. Now no one else will be trapped by it. But then, why do I have this face that looks as if it wants to cry but has no tears? Why do I feel so terribly bad? Life is more than just victories or defeats. That night I learned it in the best way. Oh boy. 4 a.m. I finally get out of the forest, and it was almost morning. "Alex! Alex!" Suddenly I hear someone call my name, and it wasn't a strange voice. It was the voice of my friends who were looking for me. "Hey, over here!" I shout without hesitation, with a bit of clumsiness because of my confusion. Soon they found me and impatiently run towards me. "Where were you? The worry was killing us," Steven said with a face that I don't remember having ever seen before. We've seen it like 3 times. Before answering, I rubbed my forehead. I couldn't find the forest exit. Alfred was about to say something, but before that I interrupted him. "Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was just lost. The important thing is that we're all safe." "Yes, you're right." I knew that they wouldn't believe my story if I told them, so I didn't bother to do so. And so, as sudden as it happened, the night was left behind, being replaced by boring days, almost identical days. But at least I had achieved our goal. I had a night worthy of remembering. 9 a.m., November 15th. Why is my cat meowing? Whatever. Several days have passed since then. Suddenly I see a cat walk by. "Ashley?" I asked without even thinking. She turns to look at me confused, but of course she could not be who I spoke of. The cat seems oddly friendly with humans. She observes me with shyness but doesn't growl at me. Without much thought, I decided to adopt her, maybe in hopes Ashley would come back someday. Even if it was an impossible desire, having this cute cat will make me remember Ashley forever. It might have been just a night, but it was an experience I would never forget. I hold the cat in my hands. She actually looks happy for having a new owner. Seeing her like that makes me smile. Without a doubt, you'll make good company. Yay, Ashley ending. Woo! Okay, then we have one last ending that we can do. And that is to pick up the cat. Again. So. Man, the credits take forever. Okay, so I'm going to pause the recording and get back once I get to the spot where we can do the next ending, so BRB. Okay, we're back. So, going all the way back to this. Only to realize that, with surprise, that's the white cat. We're back at the beginning, where the first option was. So, we're going to pick her up. It's best to continue without waking her, blah blah blah. Yada yada. Okay, so going for the secret ending, I guess. She brought me here. My arms, I said the best thing I could do is continue walking. 2:31 a.m. Man. Again, I found myself in the dark forest walking aimlessly, only moving forward, but it didn't seem I was getting somewhere. In my arms I carried the cat which sleeps soundly. Come here you'll be safe. I suddenly stopped. It was probably easy to see this belief on my face. It's that voice again. I whispered to myself with no one to listen to me. Shortly after I found the cat, the mysterious voice appeared in my mind. It's feminine voice. Am I really going crazy, or is the force that doesn't make any sense? 2 options. and I feel the cat move in my arms. I look down at her confused as she jumps her eyes suddenly. Oh wait, it was supposed to be that I escaped from the cat. Well, no matter. Let's go. Should I see a path before me. Should I take this path? So... Yes, I should take this path. I should face with courage whatever I could find there. Okay then. 2:57 a.m. I don't know how long I've been running, but it's been some time since I last heard either the voice or meows, much to my relief. I finally stopped, placing my hands on my knees, feeling that I am on the edge of fainting. I breathe through my mouth, trying to fill my lungs with as much air as I can, while my legs hurt as if they had been hammered mercilessly. But this pain does not bother me because I'm finally safe, at least temporarily. I'm still lost in the dark forest, but surrounded by this rotten air, but I don't feel nearly as bad as before. I look back to the ground while trying to catch my breath. Damn, how can I get out of here? I ask, confused and frustrated. I feel really anguished. This is ending. I close my eyes and let out a long sigh. I have to calm myself. Easy, you can get out of this forest. With a little rest and then continue walking. I give myself a moment. I needed it. I open my eyes, and at that moment I see there is something below me. I almost step on it. Because of the darkness and my desperation, I had not noticed it before. Confused, I note a small hand that comes out of the ground. It is a human hand, at least in form. With only a glimpse, I can tell that it was a toy made of metal. Without hesitation, I bend down and start digging it out. Slowly, my hands move away the earth that hit a toy, only to discover that it was a figure of a knight. It's dirty and very worn down. Must be a very old toy. I raised the toy to my eyes, examining it carefully. Lillian, I read aloud. Is that what the toy had written on its back? Must be the name of the person whom it belonged to. I look at it carefully, trying to think who Lillian might be. But naturally, the effort was just a waste of time. In the end, I have no other alternatives than to continue walking in the dark. My break is over. Without delay, I move my feet and I start to walk. This time, there is no need to run. I don't know where I might end up, but I know that I don't want to be here. Okay, so... What is this place? I ask myself when I arrive at a clearing in the forest. Only a few minutes since I found the toy have passed. There's something strange about this place, but not because it's dark or impressive as the rest of the forest. It's actually opposite. I somehow find it nostalgic, for lack of better words. The atmosphere is pure and kind, as if it were a sanctuary from the darkness. I shake my head confused, but I don't give it any more thought. It may only be that I'm too far away from the cat, and that's why the curse is weaker here. At least I can see the night sky. The full moon shines elegantly, surrounded by a blanket of darkness and stars. A beautiful image, but there's something strange about it. How weird. Wasn't there a half moon tonight? I said to myself as I look at the moon and try to remember the vague memory in my mind. Anyway, it's not important. The moon will not come to save me. I lowered my sight. It was then that I noticed there was a cabin in the clearing. It was hidden under the shade of trees nearby. That's why I didn't see it before, I think. The cabin looks old and worn down, even depressing, but if I'm lucky, there may be someone there. I may not have managed to escape, but I could wait for the sun to rise in that cabin. I am sure that when the night ends, so will my concerns. Without wasting any more time, I decide to enter the cabin. I open the old door slowly, observing that no one is waiting for me on the other side. Apparently, it is empty. The atmosphere is quiet. It's a sad silence, as if the place has been forgotten by all. As soon as I put my feet into the cabin, curiosity takes control of me. An inexplicable desire to explore the place is born in me. After all, it seemed to be the most interesting thing I could do at that moment. Although I doubt it can beat the excitement of running for my life, thank goodness. Inside, there is not much special. First thing I notice is that it does not have many of the modern commodities such as electricity, telephone, or water pipes. Everything is rustic. It seems this place is even older than it appeared to be, as impressive as that sounds. In the living room there is a fireplace. With curiosity, I look inside of it, but there is only ash. No one had used it in a long time. At the table I see that there are 3 empty plates. It was as if the family that lived there was getting ready to eat, except there was no food for them. I then decide to enter the rooms. The first one had a double bed. There's not much else there. I saw just a wardrobe and a chest of drawers made of wood, yet both were empty. There were even clothes in if there were ever clothes in them, they must have disappeared with the time. When I go to the second room, in this the bed is smaller. I guess only one person used it. First thing I notice is that there are toys on the floor. Figures of animals made of wool. Also some marbles and a rag doll. Whoever lives here, or better said lived here, did not seem to have great interest in order. However, I can't imagine that it's very important after all this time. My first impression is that the room belonged to a girl. At first sight, the room appeared to have nothing special. After checking the place better, I found a notebook. I observed the notebook with curiosity and opened it to the first page. Everything is fuzzy, but from what little I managed to understand, it seemed to be a diary. All the pages are worn down, and writing so blurred I couldn't understand almost anything. I go through every page until I find a fragment that was strangely preserved. Today, Dad returned home with a toy. It was a knight in silver armor, as in fairy tales. I can't even describe how happy I felt when I saw it. I immediately ran to him to give him a strong hug. The toy must have been expensive, but he said that the blacksmith owed him a favor. When I finished reading, I realized I was talking about the same toy that I have in my hands. "You must be Lillian," I said, speaking to the diary without waiting for an answer. Then my curiosity led me to check the other pages until I again found a legible fragment. It was right at the end of the diary, many pages away from the day in which she got this toy. Mom woke me up suddenly in the middle of the night. She said Dad seemed to be alerted. It's not like when they fight, but without a doubt something is happening to them. Mom told me to pack only what is necessary and prepare to leave. There's no time to even talk about it. Why do we have to leave? It's very late and I'm sleepy. I want to stay in bed. After that, the diary ends abruptly without having even scrawls on the other pages. It was abandoned in this house without looking back. It sounds rather sad, but it seemed that they had an important reason to do so. It was then that I suddenly heard the sound of footsteps inside the cabin. My heart freezes at that moment. I don't know why, but an incredible fear invades me. The room's door slowly begins to open, only to reveal the person behind it. "Eh?" exclaimed a confused girl dressed in black who looked more or less my age. She had an extraordinary beauty with golden hair and blue eyes. She is surprised to see me, but not more than I was. Is it possible that there's another person caught in this cursed forest? "Why are you here?" the girl asked me. Her blue eyes set their gaze on me. At first she does not seem angry, but later her expression becomes more aggressive. "What are you doing?" She narrows her eyes as if trying to look inside of me. "Sorry, I saw this cabin and I felt the urge to explore the inside," I responded immediately. "I didn't think it would bother anyone. The cabin seemed abandoned long ago." I'm so nervous I start to sweat. After saying that, the room is surrounded by an awkward silence. The girl looks at me in silence for a few seconds before suddenly laughing. "I see, you must be the knight who I was calling before," she said with a sweet smile. I blinked in surprise. You were the voice that I heard inside my mind? I started to believe what I just heard. I remember that voice was calling me to a place, but that evil cat would not let me pass. The girl laughed softly before nodding a couple of times. "Yes, that was me." While speaking, she looks at me in the eyes with tenderness. I feel something warm in my heart, just from seeing that look of hers. "I actually wanted you to come to this place, but I don't know why you started to run in the opposite direction." The girl looks a little sad after saying that, however, she quickly recovers her smile. "That's why I went out looking for you. I would have never imagined that you would end up here." "Me neither. I was just walking without knowing where I was going, looking for a way out of this forest," I replied sincerely. "I guess I'm lucky, but there's something in her voice that I don't like. Anyway, if it comes from the girl, So sweet, I should be good. In that moment, I noticed the girl never stopped staring at me. Her eyes contemplate me with so much adoration that I feel both flattered and uncomfortable. I take a step backwards because of my anxiety, but she instantly takes a step forward. Brave Knight, there's something I need to ask you, the girl unexpectedly said. I don't know if that is the appropriate way of addressing me, but I cannot deny that I like it. What is it? I gulped shortly after asking. My heart beats fast. Then the girl goes one step further, and then another. She is now so close that I can smell her fragrant scent. It seems that she did not know the concept of personal space. It was then that I suddenly hear something hit the ground. The surprise makes us both silent. At that moment I realize something that should be in my hand is no longer there. Unwittingly I dropped the night toy. My anxiety made me clumsy. That, the girl said after a short silence. The look in her eyes had changed completely. She's astonished. Suddenly something had stolen her breath. The blue eyes are no longer concentrated on me, but look down at something that's on the floor. Where did you find that? The girl asked, astonished. Then I do not know how to react. I just suddenly bent down to pick up the toy. Then I offered it to her kindly. After hesitating for a moment, she almost snatches it from my hands. It seemed to be something very precious to her. I found it buried in the forest, I replied kindly, as I see how she embraces it, with such tenderness that it makes me smile. I guess that you must be Lillian. She nods. Yes, my name is Lillian. She then returns her gaze towards my face. Her eyes reflect the shine of pure kindness. Thank you, she said timidly. My name is Alex, and you don't have to thank me. Even if I couldn't escape, it seemed that I would have some company. If all goes well, we only have to wait until the sun rises. I give one more look at Lillian. The first thing that is noticeable is her great beauty, but after seeing more carefully, I notice that there is something more. Its presence a little strange. She blinks after realizing I'm looking at her. Immediately I avert my sight nervously, only to hear her laugh. You're the girl who lived in this house, is that right? I asked, stealing myself of what she was going to answer. How is it that you're still in this place? I gulped. Perhaps you're some kind of ghost or something like that? Lillian looks me in the eyes with tenderness. Do I look anything like a scary ghost? She said playfully. I immediately replied, saying no, with a shake of my head. You're right, I lived in this cabin for a long time, with my family. This is now nothing of the past. Could you tell me about that? I asked, guided by my curiosity without thinking that it might have something personal. Lillian closed her eyes and thought about it for a moment. I could, but only if you promised to help me before listening to it, she said, looking at me later with puppy eyes, quietly begging for my approval. I could not stop thinking that this girl is adorable, but something does not convince me. Promise to help you, I said without much energy. Before promising that, I need to know what kind of help you want from me. My words are firm. I don't want her to ask later for my soul to drink my blood. Lillian makes a childish and annoyed face. Or to drink my blood. Lillian makes a childish and annoyed face for a couple of seconds. I just want a bit of your energy, Knight. If you give it to me, then I'll respond to all of your questions. After saying that, she gives a tender look towards me. I do not understand what she means by energy. It's not like I'm a battery, but I do have many questions I would like to ask. I doubt for a moment before sighing with resignation. Seems there's no other way out. Okay, but how will I do that? I asked, looking at her confused. Lillian smiles unexpectedly, full of joy. It's very easy, you just need to kiss me, Knight. She responds as if it wasn't anything special. Did I hear well? Kiss her? I lost my breath just from thinking about it. It seems that coming to this forest has been a good idea after all. I suddenly feel Lillian caress my cheek with one hand. I turn to see her face only to discover that she is very close to me. Instantly I blush, but short after I notice something strange. Her body feels cold. I don't know how to explain it. Her presence is strangely faint. The texture of her skin is nice, but at the same time weak. Lillian smiles while she looks me in the eyes with a mischievous face. I still must reward you for giving me back my toy, she said gently while approaching her lips to mine, slowly savoring every moment. I couldn't do anything to stop her. Soon I felt her lips against mine. At that moment I felt as if I had been possessed. My desires to take control of my body forced me to kiss her passionately, as if we were lovers seeing each other after a long time. I closed my eyes. I didn't need to see, just feel the love from her lips. Oh boy. However, the sweetness soon dies, being replaced with the stabbing pain, as if someone had stabbed needles of ice along my back. Without thinking, I break the kiss and move away from her. What did you do? Asked, giving an astonished look at Lillian. What has happened to me? I feel cold, as if she had stolen half of the heat from my body. I also feel heavy. You don't need to fear. I only took a portion of your energy as we agreed. Answered Lillian, looking at me with puppy eyes that begged me not to get angry with her. Don't worry. You'll soon feel better, she added shortly after. I became silent just from seeing her. I could not be angry with someone like her. Then I sighed, leaving my anger and concern with my breath. Soon after that, I noticed that Lillian does nothing more than look at me tenderly, waiting for me to say something. It was then that I realized something. Suddenly the presence of Lillian becomes heavier. Eh? I exclaimed with curiosity. Before she almost felt transparent, but now I see her with solid colors, as if before she were just a reflection and now she was real. Did you notice my knight? She asked, full of joy. Thanks to you, I can now materialize myself completely. Before my presence was partial dim, now I have more power thanks to you, Lillian explained, giving me a smile. Now I understand why she wanted my help. But after hearing that, one thing is clear to me. She's not human. With that, do you have everything you wanted? I asked, a little disgusted. I can't say that I'm happy after the kiss. I still have some difficulty standing it. Lillian responds with a nod. Yes, I'll now respond to your questions, kind knight. Her words are honest, just like the sweet look in her eyes. Well, it seems that I can trust her. After looking at her for a moment, my lips finally moved. What are you exactly, Lillian? Was my first question. No doubt it must sound strange, but there's something here that does not make sense. Are you really not a ghost, or perhaps you're a witch? Lillian stares carefully at me before laughing softly, closing her eyes a moment. Then she looks directly into my eyes. You got one of them right, my knight. She pauses. I really am a spirit, but before I was a witch who lived in this place. A spirit? I looked as confused. How is that any different from a ghost? To me it sounded like the same thing, but then I see Lillian shake her head in denial. She then looks me straight in the eyes. A ghost is the soul of someone who died, and which, by some force, remains in this world. A spirit, on the other hand, is a different entity. They have much more powerful presence and do not necessarily come from a dead person. Could you explain it simpler? I asked, completely lost. I guess she knew how to differentiate them. All of this was completely new for me. Lillian then laughed sweetly, as if my confusion was adorable. A ghost is someone who died, but their soul stayed on this earth. A spirit is a supernatural entity that does not need to come from a living being. An example would be the fairies or spirits of the forest. That was much clearer. I silently take a moment to connect the dots. I exclaimed thoughtfully, before looking back at her beautiful face. Her blue eyes patiently wait for me to say something. Does it mean that you were a witch before, but somehow ended up becoming a spirit in this forest? I asked quizzically. After hearing me, Lillian nods and gives me a smile. That's right. I was a young witch who lived in this cabin with my parents. But unfortunately, Lillian stopped suddenly. For a moment, the expression on her face seems to be full of hatred. But one instant later, she's back to normal. Must have been an error of mine. Something happened, and after death I ended up becoming a spirit, added Lillian soon after, giving more light to the situation. When she said the last word, she gave me a sweet smile. A sweet small smile, looking at me with pure innocence. I understand, I murmured. However, there's still something important I wanted to know. My eyes then fell on Lillian. Why were you calling me before, Lillian? I asked with a sharp look in my eyes, as if I tried to see inside her soul. She gazes at me with tenderness. Because I needed your help, kind knight, but also to protect you. Hearing her say that surprises me, but she doesn't seem to be lying. I think you've seen it, the evil cat that lives in this forest? She's an evil spirit. The image of the cat flashes in my mind at that moment. She's right. It was because of that cat that I ended up in this place. Surely the cat is the one that created this rotten and sinister atmosphere. Before I was happy as the spirit of this forest. The joy that surrounded me gave me energy that fed me. But since that cat appeared, nobody has come. That's why I can't keep my material form and had to steal your energy. I see, it's all the fault of that cat, I said with a better idea of the situation. Finally, there's only one last thing I'm curious about. Lillian, you know something about the disappearances of 5 men which took place in this forest? Lillian seems surprised at my question, but she quickly regains her composure. With a frail look in her eyes, she nods twice. Yes, they are dead. The cat stole their vital energy, killing them. That's how she acquires more power. Wait, isn't that the same thing you did with me? I asked, confused. Lillian immediately shakes her hands while showing me the palms. In a shy gesture that said I was wrong. It's very different. She didn't stop and ended up taking all life from them. I wouldn't kill such a kind knight like you, who voluntarily came to me to give me something so precious, explained Lillian. Basically, they had the same power but different intentions. I understand, I said, thinking about it for a moment, with my sight down. I then returned my eyes to Lillian. I still have one doubt left. Why have all the disappearances occurred on Halloween? Because it's the only night in which we can materialize, answered Lillian quickly, speaking with perfect calmness as if it were something ordinary. Fortunately, my look of confusion seemed enough to tell her that I didn't understand, well, what she meant. During the night of Halloween, magic becomes more powerful. All the other days, I'm only an invisible being that cannot do more than observe this forest. But on the night of Halloween, I'm able to show my presence and I appear. You're trying to say that during other days you don't have any powers? I asked curiously. That would explain, well, what was happening. I guess it would be the same case for the cat. Only in this night, she could be dangerous. Lillian nods. Yes, that's right, Brave Knight. The look in her eyes is sincere. I see. Thank you very much. That was everything I wanted to know. I never thought I would say something like this on this night, but our answers had been of great help. Finally, I felt more confident, and not as lost as before. Now the only thing left was to wait for the sun to rise in this cabin. Fortunately, the atmosphere here seemed more friendly and calm. Once the sun rises, I could escape without problems. I would have survived the wickedness of that cat. I was lost in my thoughts when suddenly I noticed the look Lillian had upon me. Her eyes told me she wants to ask me something. Is something wrong, Lillian? I asked, not knowing what to expect. Lillian instantly responds with a nod. Kind knight, now that you know the truth, there is a special mission to which I need your help. I want you to help me defeat the cat and break this curse. Her words leave me at a loss. Her words leave at a loss for breath. Defeat her. But what could I do against that cursed cat? I'm just a normal person. Without a doubt, I'd like to put an end to the curse, but I can't take impossible tasks. After hearing me, Lillian's eyes light up with hope. You don't have to fear, Knight. You're much stronger than you look. You have a large amount of magical energy sleeping within you. Lillian pauses. You'll also be my support. Lillian gets closer to me. Having her so close makes me nervous. I hope she doesn't want my energy, although I wouldn't complain if she wants another kiss. Girl. Dude. Do you really need my help, Lillian? It sounded too dangerous. I would prefer not to be in a fight. She nods before looking at me with pleading eyes, silently begging for my help. Yes, it's necessary. The cat and I have very evenly matched powers. But your presence, Knight, that could give me the victory. There's nothing but tenderness in her blue eyes. It's hard to say no to a look like that. My heart beats fast with anxiety. Honestly, I don't want to meddle between them. But if what she says is true, then I can make a difference and put an end to this curse once and for all. Then I have to do it. Okay, I'll help you kill the cat and end the curse, I said full of determination. It's hard to believe that the words that come out of my mouth, but there is times that we have to be strong. I cannot forget that she has killed innocents before. Lillian seemed surprised to hear me say that. No, she suddenly said. Don't kill her. After saying that, she stayed silent. She seemed scared. Look at her without understanding what is wrong. If you kill her, she'll later be reincarnated as a more evil and more powerful being. It's the first time I've seen Lillian this worried. No doubt it's something serious. Knight, please trust me. The best thing we can do is capture her. That is precisely the mission I had for you. Capture her? I repeat, confused, staring into her eyes. Lillian nods. Yes, if you see that she tries to take her own life, you must stop her. Just hold her for a few seconds. That will be enough for me to imprison her. Lillian explains, looking at me again with puppy eyes. And how am I supposed to do that? I asked, not fully convinced of this plan. My reflexes are not better than a cat for sure. I'll use my magic to strengthen your body. As soon as the combat starts, she will place all of her attention on me. So when you see that she's about to take her life, you must move as fast as you can and hold her, Brave Knight, Lillian said, placing all of her trust in me. Okay, I understand, I said, full of determination. This is really long. This was our plan of counterattack. With my help, this long curse would finally break. Very well, you can count on me, Lillian. After hearing me, Lillian is filled with joy. She closes her eyes for a moment. Once she opens them, she gives me a look full of love along with a radiant smile. For a second, I felt as if we had been in love for years. Something beautiful but false. More than saying that I would help her, it seemed like I was making a bigger commitment, and therefore a more cherished one, as if I had promised that I would always be her ally. In any case, I was happy to see her so happy. She must have been alone for a long time. However, suddenly her expression changes. From one second to the next, Lillian gives me an expression of anguish. Something was bothering her. The cat approaches. Soon she will be here. Hearing her say that made my heart skip a beat. Anxiety grows in me. Apparently, Lillian noted it because she unexpectedly gave me a sweet smile. "Fear not, gentle knight," she said tenderly before making a more serious face. "Quickly give me a kiss so I can strengthen your body." A kiss. I'm not even able to finish my sentence before Lillian impatiently planted a new kiss on my lips. Soft, pleasant, delicious kissing her, and it's a wonderful feeling that makes my heart beat faster. What the heck? Okay. This time I do not feel weaker, all the opposite. Her kiss filled me with energy and power. Lillian's kiss would be the best way to wake up every day. Better than coffee or a sudden cold shower, I thought, joking with myself. However, before we finished our kiss, suddenly something attacks us, with such power that it destroyed part of the cabin. Opening the large hole that connects to the outside, I can't even begin to imagine what did that. It was like seeing a wrecking ball doing its job. The blow was sufficiently strong enough to push me away from Lillian. She seems to as evenly surprised as me. I immediately get up and look for the culprit. "You really are an idiot. What are you doing?" said the girl with white hair and red eyes I had never seen before, but somehow she appeared to know me. The way she looks at me makes me think that. "How impatient you are, Ashley. Don't you see I was having an intimate moment with my knight?" responded Lillian with a mischievous smile on her face. "Or is it that you're jealous because men prefer me? No wonder you're just an annoying brat." The girl with red eyes, Ashley set her eyes on Lillian, seeing her as an enemy. "I won't let you leave this place. I'll never let you." There's anger in her words, but there's also something strange. She doesn't sound evil. She rather seemed to be on the defensive. It's strange, but this is my impression. Lillian chuckles after hearing her, hitting her lips behind a hand with elegance. "You're wrong. This will be the night of your defeat." Ashley makes a snort in English. I didn't want to do this, but I think I have no choice. Unexpectedly, just as she finished speaking, she jumps at me with extraordinary speed. I'm more than impressed. However, I managed to dodge her somehow, jumping towards Lillian. When my feet touch the ground, I'm right next to her. Lillian smiles, and then a strong current of air pushes Ashley away from us. Magic without a doubt. "You giant idiot!" Ashley shouted, falling with perfect balance, as one might expect of a cat. There was no further explanation. It had to be her. Otherwise, the attack and the fact that they knew each other wouldn't make sense. "Do you know what you're doing? You're endangering everyone." "You're wasting your time," Lillian said without even giving me time to think about it. "He already has chosen to be my ally. Alex is my knight. Together we will defeat you, Ashley." Without a doubt, that was what I had promised, but Lillian was acting different from before. She was arrogant and seemed to enjoy it. The girl then hisses with anger, imitating an angry cat. She even shows me her teeth, and her nails grow at that time. "You really are an idiot," she said, furious, with her red eyes gazing at me. "I'm the good one. The princess behind you is the one who killed them all." "Eh?" I exclaimed, confused, before seeing how Ashley jumped to dodge a ball of energy translucent as if it was made of hot air, but with a power so great that it opened a hole in the ground where she was standing. It was Lillian who shot it from the tip of her fingers. I can feel a huge and unknown energy contracting on her hand. However, what most surprised me is the expression on her face. A malicious smile draws on her lips. Was she having fun? Why was fighting to break a curse fun? I looked at the face of Ashley to compare it. It was just the opposite. Ashley appeared to be in agony, worried about what would happen while I was giving her all. "Why do you believe all of her words?" Ashley shouted before dodging another ball of energy. The blast echoed in my ears. "I just wanted to scare them away. She was the one who stole the energy of those men to consummate her revenge." Once again, I'm at a loss for breath. Now the seeds of doubt are planted in my mind. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe more confused than before. Something is wrong with the two. Both Ashley and Lillian do not appear to be what they say. At least I cannot believe in them. "Shut up!" Lillian yells furious at the same time that she fires a large bolt of lightning at her. The attack is so fast and powerful that she could not avoid it. Then Lillian turns to look at me. My knight, do not fall for her lies. She's just trying to confuse you. Lillian looks me in the eyes with incredible tenderness. The change in her emotion is so drastic that I don't know how I feel on the matter. You believe me, don't you? She ended with a kind and innocent smile. However, before being able to say something, we're interrupted. A great wave of translucent energy hits Lillian, knocking down part of the cabin. The blast was tremendous, so much that I'm stunned and speechless. Again, it was like seeing a wrecking ball doing its job, an unstoppable force. Curse you! I'll make you pay! Lillian cries furious, cleaning up the blood on her lips. Despite the monstrous hit, she was almost completely clean. You deserve it for flirting in the middle of a match. Ashley scolded her, looking furious too. What the heck is going on? After saying that, Ashley and Lillian resumed their fierce and fantastical fight, using powers I could not even begin to understand, much less describe. Either way, one thing was certain: I don't want to be in this wrecked cabin. However, as soon as I moved, I unexpectedly stepped on something. Confused, I looked down to find the toy knight. It must have fallen from Lillian's hands after the attack. When my eyes set on it, everything became silent. I watched fascinated, as if it was the most interesting thing that existed, ignoring the incredible combat that takes place right in front of my eyes. This toy calls me. Something in it is calling me. Without even thinking, I pick it up from the ground. It is at that time I am transported to another place. No, that's an error. I'm still in the same cabin as before. However, what has changed is time. The cabin now looks clean and full of life, almost as if it were new. I find myself extending both hands, palms up, waiting to receive something. My eyes look up, beholding the loving smile of an older man, with a beard with almost no hair. Without hesitation, he puts something in my hands. It's cold and hard, and had a familiar shape. It is the toy knight. Having it in my hands fills me with great joy. It was something that I had desired so much, but never hoped to have. It was too expensive, too unnecessary, but I still dreamed to see the knight in shining armor. Since long ago it had been one of my whims. To see this futile dream fulfilled fills me with an unexplained happiness. Someone heard it. This unnecessary dream that even the owner had hopelessly abandoned. There was someone who picked it up and gave it life. What could I call something like that but love? Being able to hold it in my hands meant more to me than any other gift. Even if they had offered me a bag of gold in its place, it would not be the same. Without hesitation, first thing I did was engrave my name on it. Lillian. This belonged to me. This is mine, and mine alone. This is such a long ending. Okay. The next second I'm in the forest. My legs hurt and I'm out of breath. I'm terribly tired. I just want to rest a little, but suddenly my father takes my hand. He's angry, or rather desperate. He forces me to continue running. Our escape was cut short, however. Soon the toy would fall to the ground, stained with blood. It was a surprise attack. Only I would survive. Miraculously survived those wounds that should have been fatal. It was a meaningless miracle. The next day, it would be nothing more than ash. Okay then. When I return to the real world, I feel there's something on my face. With a frozen expression I touch only to discover there were tears. I look at my hand for a few seconds, completely lost in the image. I hear nothing. I see nothing else. I just think there's something twisted in all of this. Lillian here is the same Lillian I saw, but not completely. Definitely something is missing from her. She's just a piece. Suddenly I shake my head. There's something I need to see. Ashley and Lillian continue fighting, using all kinds of extraordinary powers. Ashley shoots lightning bolts to Lillian, but she reflects them with an almost invisible shield. Lillian smiles. Just at the same time, she covers her body with a thick darkness, which later takes the form of a huge snake. The serpent of darkness attacks Ashley, but she manages to dodge it thanks to her great reflexes. Why are you doing this? Ashley asked angry. At the same time, she fires a red lightning bolt, but it did not seem to be made of electricity, but of a different energy. The lightning hits the snake, dispersing some of the thick darkness. A long time has passed. The people who hurt you are already gone. There isn't even a memory of the crime committed here anymore. The only thing here is a village of innocent people, Ashley said just before Lillian attacked her again. This time she's not fast enough. The serpent tears her side, causing a serious wound. However, in front of my eyes I see it reduced to nothing in just a moment. Is it that you have forgotten the feeling of tears falling down your cheeks? The blood escaping your body until you lose all of your heat? Lillian responds without hesitation. Her answer turns me into stone. No matter how much I want to forget it, no matter how much time passes, for me it remains as vivid as when it happened. I cannot live otherwise. If it's not like this every day, it eats me from the inside. Apparently, Lillian had discarded the good girl act, or had forgotten about me. Not wasting time, Ashley attacks, firing a red lightning bolt, even bigger than the previous. She was giving everything in that fight. Lillian responds, throwing all the darkness that covers her to Ashley, revealing her human body. Darkness and light colliding, causing an explosion. For a moment, everything was covered by white light, accompanied by a deafening noise. When my vision returns, I see that both Ashley and Lillian are seriously injured. They gasp for air while staring into the eyes of the other. I have no doubts Ashley was telling the truth. It was not the cat who had killed those men, but Lillian, because of her desire for revenge, rather her inability to forget the pain of what they had did to her. Lillian is an aggressor, but she's also a victim. She's also suffering. I pressed the toy in my hands with all my strength and anxiety. I don't know what to do, but I know I don't want to stay here idly. I must intervene. It was then that unexpectedly, in front of my eyes, something happens that leaves me speechless. This is enough. I won't let you disturb me anymore. This will be the night I will defeat you. Lillian said at the same time she gathers the incredible magic. Dozens of snakes of darkness revolve around her, floating in the air. She was preparing to cast an enormous spell. Try if you can, Princess. I won't let you hurt anybody again, replied Ashley, doing the same thing, only that in her cast of energy takes the form of a red and white light. An immense power surrounds each, revealing the nature of their interior. It was easy to know what they were planning. The intensity of the energy covered them at that time leaves me speechless. It was something I'd never seen before, immeasurable, indescribable, and above all fascinating. Wait! I shout desperately, trying to stop them, but they can't hear me. In the world they are now, only the two of them exist. Before I knew it, my legs began to move with extraordinary speed thanks to the spell of Lillian. Ah! They both activate their spells at the same time. They yell with all of their might and heart. Oh boy, he's gonna get hit. A stream of red and white light advances unstoppable against another of darkness, moving in the opposite direction as if they were two trains about to collide. Stop! I yelled from the bottom of my soul, possessed by the desire to stop them before they hurt themselves anymore. I don't know why, but something inside me pushed me to do so. The feeling I had was like seeing two great friends fighting to death. In any case, I don't have time to question what I do. It was already done. Before I knew it, I was already between the two. I opened my eyes wide with disbelief when I realized it. My eyes reflect a intense light that becomes brighter by the intense until it hits me, making a monstrous roar. An explosion like nothing else I had ever seen before, with me in the center of it. At that moment, everything turned to white. Man, this is so long. All sounds, all images, all the smells and sensations are gone. I was left alone, abandoned in an empty white. How could I describe what it feels like to leave this world? It was as if I had been pushed into the sea, and I sank quickly, leaving behind the world from where I came. Even if I stretch my hand, I cannot reach it. I just continue to sink until the image of the surface disappears. The only difference is that here there is no darkness. Instead it is white, an eternal white. I cannot speak. Moving is impossible, considering that I even have a body. The only thing I can do is sink deeper with every passing second. While I do, I can't help but feel sad, or rather nostalgic. I just entered this place, and already I feel like I have spent years here. Okay. Suddenly the white becomes something different. The eternal white changes to green, turns into a forest. No? There's a cabin in the forest. In the cabin there are 3 people, my mom, my dad, and I. No, that is a mistake. I am not me. I is Lillian. Lillian and Ashley. The real one and not the two who were fighting before. Now I understand it. Now I understand I'm not dead. The power did not exterminate me, but showed me a window to their inside. Lillian and Ashley are two names, but both belong to the same person. Because their parents could not decide, they gave her a middle name. Now I understand it. Oh? So they're two sides of the same person. You idiot! Do not die! Suddenly I hear the voice of Ashley calling me. There is concern mixed with anger in her voice. Hearing it fills me with delight. My knight, resist! Then I hear the voice of Lillian. I can hear it just as concerned as Ashley. Despite being evil, she felt something for me. I guess it's possible to have a 100% evil spirit. I'm alive, I murmured with difficulty. I felt 10 times worse than waking up on a Monday at 6 a.m. in the morning to go to school, and that was saying a lot. Slowly I regain my senses and start to perceive the world again. Shapes and sounds become clear. As soon as I say that, both girls sigh with relief. How could you be so stupid? Ashley roared furiously, although I don't blame her in the least. On the contrary, I believe she's right. Don't do something so dangerous if possible. I would prefer not to kill you. After saying that, she closes her eyes and crosses arms, making an arrogant gesture. My knight, then whispers Lillian, looking at me with puppy eyes. I'm lucky my sacrifice was able to stop them, at least for now. Here, I think this belongs to you, I said at the same time I placed the toy in the hands of Lillian. She looks at me more than surprised. She simply couldn't believe it. I had no words. I don't know how to say it, but I feel that this toy is what saved my life. It was no coincidence I found it. I must have been waiting for someone who could finally break the curse without killing her. That toy you have there is... Ashley murmurs, as surprised as Lillian. Her cheeks are slightly red, making her look adorable. It seems that even she can be cute when she wants to. That belongs to you, am I right? I said shortly before standing. I already feel a little better, still tired but not as bad as before. Without thinking, I cleaned the dirt from my clothes with my hands. Suddenly everything had become too quiet. Confused, I look at Ashley's face and then Lillian's. They are cold and more still than a statue. How could you know? The two cried in unison, destroying the short calm that was surrounding us. It was almost as loud as the explosion before. I almost fell to the ground from the impression. Then they stare at me, narrowing their eyes as if trying to see inside me. There was something subtly funny about seeing them acting like this. I inhaled to fill my lungs with air, and my heart with courage. That toy told me. I don't know how it could happen, but I'm sure that was it. Since I found it, I felt a mysterious force guiding me, and during the match it showed me scenes from your past. After saying that, I look at their faces. Both had the same thoughtful expression. They apparently had some difficulty believing it, but at the same time they couldn't discard the possibility so easily. Could it be that in all these years it was collecting magical energy? Ashley asked herself with her sight down and one hand under her chin while thinking deeply. That's the only explanation. It was filled with magical energy and revealed its memories, responded Lillian, thinking just as deep on the subject. After they both nodded at the same time, it was funny and adorable. However, I quickly erased the smile from my face. It wasn't going to stay like this. This is nothing more than a small truce. Next year would be the same. I have to put an end to this curse. You two are the same person, am I right? So why do you have to fight? I asked, knowing that they would not take it well, but I couldn't avoid doing so. Instantly both crossed their arms, making an angry face. It's her fault. This princess can't forget what happened and wants to take revenge on the people, even though hundreds of years have passed. Ashley angrily responded. She had a good point, but now that I've seen the past of the two, I think I can understand why that is. Don't lie. It's the fault of that cat. She always wants to act like a saint, but she doesn't even understand how horrible I feel inside. Every day, every night, I can't simply stay here doing nothing, Lillian added. Fortunately, she didn't have any intention to fight for now. At the time I was going to be buried alive at the stake, a white cat was watching nearby. Using the last of my power, I managed to transfer my soul to her. I thought that would be the end. The sin desire for revenge grew in me, so much that it took a life of its own. My soul is fragmented, Ashley explained with complete seriousness. Lillian does not protest. That was the pure truth. I take a deep breath in preparation for what I had to do. Idiots. I unexpectedly said, seeing the anger on their anger faces from the two as as a response. The one saying idiot is the idiot. Ashley instantly replied, however, soon her anger disappears. She blushes embarrassed, but I set my sights on her red eyes. I waited a couple of seconds before speaking. You're misinterpreting what you feel. You left your family, isn't that right? It's because you love them that it hurts to have lost them. I'm not saying that it's okay to seek revenge. That is cruel. Do not bury and ignore your pain. Don't call it evil. It's only human. It seems that my words had some effect. Ashley, after a few seconds, lowers her sight, looking troubled. After saying that, I turned to look at Lillian. She blinks. Her blue eyes were anxious, as if they were impatient to know what I had to say to her. It's the same for you. You're not a demon. It's a part of you that could be a good girl, Lillian. There's some good in you. I don't think that everything you told me was a lie, or that the joy in which I saw you hugging that toy was all an act. I pause while I remember those moments. I know it hurts, but the one who suffers the most from revenge is yourself, I added. There is more to say. Lillian, like Ashley, lowers her head, questioning herself, looking sad and pensive. I can't help but think that having that toy in her hands helps to soothe her pain. Yes, you're right. The truth is that I hate them. Hate those darn idiots for what they did to me. It hurt a lot. We were innocent. Ashley cried, furious, revealing her hidden feelings. Yes, but at the same time, I don't want to hurt anybody. No matter how many I kill, I'll never be able to turn back time or revive the dead, Lillian confessed with sadness in her voice. After saying that, they look at each other's eyes for a couple of seconds before giving the other a gentle smile. It's like seeing a couple of sisters forgiving themselves after years of enmity. I was pleased, grateful. I could not ask for a better end. I just stare at them while they are looking into their eyes, feeling a great satisfaction. I met them just this evening, but somehow I bonded with them. Ashley extends her hand to Lillian, with perfect elegance and gesture, as if inviting her to have a dance. Lillian nods and accepts her hand. It was then that I suddenly see how they slowly begin to disappear. Both are dispersing in the form of particles of light, as if small fireflies were escaping from their bodies with a beautiful but depressing green color. Suddenly the two turned to gaze at me, giving me their last smile. It's a pleasure to meet you, No, guess I can't call you stupid or an idiot anymore. It's a pity, but it was a pleasure to meet you, human, Ashley said with the same arrogance as always, but this time she seemed to have more respect. I am more than proud to hear it. Maybe if you hadn't attacked me in the beginning, we could have talked some more. Yes, it was a bad habit I have. She smiles a little, ashamed knowing that my words are the truth. Thanks for helping us find the peace that we needed. Goodbye, noble knight. I confess I enjoyed kissing you. You were right when you said that not everything was a lie. I enjoyed the time we spent together, even if short. I am glad I didn't kill you, Lillian said, looking at me with a tenderness that breaks my heart despite of what she says. Is there no way you could stay? I asked, being stubborn, but I don't want things to end like this. We could start again, a new life, and become good friends. I'd like to, but my existence, the purpose of my life had already been fulfilled. Thank you for freeing me of these painful feelings I was carrying. Thank you for showing me that not everyone is evil and that there are some good people like you. Thank you for trusting me despite my corrupted soul. Then, this is goodbye. Yes. It was fun to meet you, I said the two unexpectedly in unison. Aww. Those were their last words before disappearing while holding hands. Without thinking, ran towards them. Even if I couldn't do anything, I wanted to touch them one last time. The only thing my hands were able to reach are the particles of light that slipped out between my fingers as if it was water. Then I see the light rise, higher and higher, until it disappears in the night sky. I did it. I'm a hero. I'm the one who finally broke the curse. Now no one else will be trapped by it. It ended too soon. I would like to see you again someday, I murmured to the night sky, watching it with longing for a couple of minutes, as if waiting for something to occur. Naturally, there is no response. Now the only thing that stays with me is an unfulfilled desire. I desire to have a second chance with them. At least I know that at the end of their lives they could find some happiness. Now I can only get out of the forest. I know that no one would believe my story if I tell it, but at least I have achieved what was our main goal, an unforgettable night. Is that it? Are we done yet? Are we gonna do the thing again where he runs into his friends? Nope, that's the credits. Woo! How do credits are slow. Oh. Alex, suddenly I feel someone shaking my shoulder impatiently while he calls my name. Immediately open my eyes, discover that it is Stephen. What are you doing asleep? Class is about to start, he said, looking at me as if I was doing something weird. I don't answer him. I look at my surroundings, making sure where I was. Yes, it's true. I'm at school waiting for another boring day of class to start. My biggest struggle for this day was trying to not fall asleep. Sorry, it's just that last night I couldn't sleep well. I had a strange dream. Strange dream? Murmured Alfred, showing some interest. Yes, that's what it was. It was a strange dream. I was about to explain. Stephen interrupted me. It's not important. We're awake now. What is important, however, is what will happen today. And what is it that you consider so important? Well, according to my investigation, there's going to be a new female transfer student today. As usual, he's more interested in girls than in my fantastic dreams. Now that I think about it, I don't remember hearing before that a student would be transferred. With curiosity, I hear that my classmates around me are talking about. They're all talking about the same thing. Well, I guess I just wasn't paying attention. They say that this girl is gorgeous. No, even the word gorgeous is not enough to describe her, Stephen added. It was easy to tell he was more than eager to meet her. You need to learn how to be more subtle. Attention! The teacher is coming, Alfred said, warning that it was time to return to our seats. Shortly after, we see the teacher enter, a man of about 40 years, bald with glasses and carrying a couple of thick books. After a cordial greeting, the teacher prepares to introduce a new student. Well, as everyone knows, today a new student will join our class. Remember, be nice to her. After saying that, we see the door opening. We feel that everyone in the room is impatient to see the atmosphere. The place is loaded with something, whatever. However, when the last I see her face, I get the biggest surprise of my life. Oh, she has white hair and blue eyes. Greetings, my name is Lillian Ashley Gideon. It's pronounced Good and Dion, she said, ending with a friendly smile. She is unquestionably a girl of great beauty. I must be the only one here who is surprised by something else. Lillian, Ashley, I shout without thinking. I just don't believe it. Everyone then gives me a strange look at that moment, as if I had something on my face. I don't care, the surprise is too big to hide. Hello, Alex. We get to see each other again, she said, giving me a sweet smile. At the same time, she raised her hand, blushing slightly with embarrassment. I cannot answer. I simply have no voice. My mind is blank. She's Lillian and Ashley, the real girl. She's not Lillian. She's not Ashley. She's both. Lillian Ashley. She looked just like that in the memories I had of her. That's her real appearance before her soul was fragmented. I thought I would see her again. I never thought I'd see her again. It was just then that, without thinking, I checked the date on my phone. My phone caused me to lose my breath. October 8:03 a.m. October 31st. Wait, how? Okay. It's simply not possible. Time moved back. I had a feeling that it was something more than a dream. For a second I doubted, but now I'm sure. That night was real, as it is this day. This year I will be blessed with living Halloween twice. Lillian then blushes, knowing that she is the center of attention of everyone here. Well, I'm very shy to talk about me, but there's one thing I would like to say before sitting in my seat to begin the class. Something in honor of this special day. The world then became silent, waiting for what the beautiful girl had to say. Lillian takes a moment to gather courage before looking at us all, before tilting her head gently and giving us her best smile. A radiant, beautiful smile full of happiness. Trick and treat! Woo, we did it! We got the secret ending. Okay, so that was the Lillian Ashley Trick and Treat ending. And that is all the endings. So, look at that, we got all the endings. Yeah, so that is the end of this Let's Play, as the end of the series, as the end of the short Halloween event, and I hope that everyone enjoyed it. Bye-bye, ta-ta, happy Halloween! How do I end this?